is Paul. Yes, yes, yes. I was just looking at this probation, a trial period to test the fitness of a person to hold down a particular job or position. Yeah. The act of proving. Oh. The permission given to a convicted criminal to remain out of jail and under certain specific conditions and under the supervision of the court permitting the probation. Yeah. Then there are the probation officers, a court-appointed officer whose duties include the supervision of criminals on probation. He must see that the conditions, good morning, of probation are strictly observed. A public officer attached to a juvenile court who supervises the activities. Yes. Then there's the probationer, a criminal who is free on probation. Ouch. Now there's the probative facts, evidentiary facts that tend to prove the matter at issue. Yes. You know, when you issue a court order where I have the right to motion the court and they can review, and you put a condition of a mental health evaluation, when you say that you attempted service but you really didn't because you didn't want me to appear in court, and somebody said, well, what if he says he's not going to do the condition? I'm not going to listen to the court. Well, you'll have to do it. Really? Who's going to pay for it? Well, see, I'm not insane. I'm not mentally ill or mentally defective. The truth of the matter is that you issued a court order where there's a condition of me being able to talk to my sons, to see my sons, to have custody of my sons. Yeah. And then you laugh your fucking asses off for the last 2.5 years as you're torturing me out here. Now, I would say that to get a mental health evaluation, it's different than going to an emergency room. If I go to that emergency room, they have to treat me because that's the only county emergency room, and you have to provide medical treatment to any citizen of the United States. But it has to be an actual injury. It's kind of like broken teeth that are in my mouth. I still haven't gotten them repaired. Yes. And they're not going to pay for a mental health evaluation. Now, I understand about universal health care coverage in that the government says, well, if you don't have insurance, we're going to start fining you, and eventually you'll owe back taxes, and then we're going to imprison you, the homeless, indigent pauper, for not having medical insurance. Now, do you have the legal right to obligate a mental health evaluation without the consent of the respondent? Oh. Now, these rights that you keep violating day after day after day after day, I did not consent to you obligating me to a mental health evaluation since July of 2011. And I'm not consenting, to have to go on welfare, Medicaid, to pay for it. Now, there's two different lawsuits here. One is the lawsuit of a court commissioner that thought, well, we're going to make the respondent have to have a mental health evaluation, and we're going to make him have to take psychotropic medication because he doesn't understand the way that we're going. That's the one lawsuit, is that I'm not consenting to your condition. Now, you would say that you could... Well, the other lawsuit is a little bigger one, and it's the lawsuit that says the government obligates me to have medical insurance, or they will fine me for back taxes, and since you put it as a condition. See, one's a big lawsuit. It's probably $10 to $50 million, depending on how I word it. Yes. And that's court commissioners that do not protect the due process rights of an individual to be heard as in a fair and impartial judiciary before issuing court orders that obligate the respondent to spend money, yes, be on government services, yes, and have to take some sort of fucking medication. The other one is against the United States of America called The Affordable Care Act. Ooch. See, in your mind, you're going to make me go on the Affordable Care Act, and you're going to do it whether I want to or not. But as a citizen of the United States, I do know that I'm not obligated to purchase anything. Ooch. See, it's my money. Now, you say that I have to receive government benefits because I'm crazy, but I'm not. You're the one that used a fucking forgery. Now, there seems to be some problem with the sanity of those in the judiciary. They don't realize that you cannot